Hey, hey, hi there. Welcome everybody to another ZoukCast episode. This time is sooner than usual because we had an episode on Sunday. So, Nymph, how had you been these 2 days that we didn't see each other?
I'm I'm good. I'm good. Bit tired today, but busy with migration stuff from work, and we are having like a deadline, so a lot of work to do. But
Okay, but
in
you
general,
can you can make a happier face because do you know who we have here? We have Dotty.
yeah, I've got yeah, I see. Yeah. Hey,
So
Dotty.
how you doing, Dotty?
Hey, good, good. Thank you. Yeah, welcome. It's really good to be part of this ZoukCast show. Looking forward to the talk.
Okay, we're very glad to have you, and we are on a roll, Nymph. We are having almost everyone that's important in the Zouk world. They are agreeing to be on the show. So I think that the whole idea is taking over, right?
Yes.
Great. Very happy to be part of it.
Okay, Dotty. So we titled the episode the meteoric rise to the Zouk stardom. Because maybe I don't know if everybody else in the Zouk world knew you from before, but for me you were a new name just when you started to dance with Pasty. So let me ask you, where do you come from?
Oh, well, you want to start the story, hear the story from the beginning, or?
Okay, just playing a little bit of your background and then how did you came in contact with Zouk and how long? A little bit of everything, yeah.
Yeah, sure, sure, pleasure. So, I think I start a little bit in the middle because that's how we get connected to Zouk. I was dancing salsa in the past couple of years, let's say 5 years. I was dancing with Leon Rose, and my main thing to come to salsa, it was to mix salsa and contemporary.
Hmm.
I had a strong image of mixing the contact improvisation, contemporary dance, and salsa. So at that time, I didn't know to dance salsa, and I was really happy to do that. And in the salsa scene, I met Pasty, and we just noticed that when he was still dancing with Josta, and it was really nice to see that they were doing something very similar, only in Zouk, so another style. And people have always told me that, yeah, you have to go to Zouk, you have to go to Zouk, and I said, yeah, wait, it's gonna come. And actually, that happened when I stopped dancing with Leon because I was more focusing in the dance theater works. Pasty just jumped in and said like, "Hey, this is the time to dance with me." And I said, "Look, okay, but I don't dance Zouk." So he said he doesn't mind because he saw my backgrounds, that I'm gonna explain in a moment. And actually, yeah, that was my step into Zouk. So dancing with Pasty, it was my first time getting connected to the Zouk. So I'm still a newborn, new baby in the Zouk scene, but I'm very very happy that I'm connected, and I really enjoy it and still learning a lot. Um, to say a couple of things about my past is actually I've been dancing since like 20 years. I graduated in a ballet school, so my profession is dancing. But because I was living when I was a child, I used to live in Cuba. I am Hungarian, but I lived there for 4 years. I really get connected to the Latin dance culture and the whole dance. And I think when I was searching for any kind of dance which is reminds me to that period, so at that time I started to dance ballroom in Hungary. So I was competing in ballroom quite serious for a while, and I did the ballet school at the same time. Then I had to quit the ballroom because I have to choose one dance because I couldn't go that far with everything. So I finished the school, and I was dancing in dance theaters for 10 years, and mainly dancing modern jazz, contemporary, and all this kind of stuff. And then I felt like I'm missing the partner dancing, and I started to search for something. And then I started to mix that time ballroom and contemporary. then I felt I need to learn another couple dance, and I started to dance salsa, and then so on. So I ended up in Zouk now.
So you told us that some people were saying to you, you have to go into Zouk, you have to go into Zouk, and then you went into Zouk. So
Yeah.
how does it feel, the Zouk feeling in comparison with salsa, for you being a dancer that wants to mix with the contemporary and everything?
Yeah, well, now I can see that obviously to mix Zouk with the contemporary is much easier than to mix contemporary with salsa.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting because I had a need to mix these things. I knew the dance, so it's now I feel really refreshed that I'm dancing with a lot of guys who already leading me in that way, how I was already teaching it since a while, and it's really a nice feeling to see that a couple of people are already practicing these things what I was kind of dreaming about, and I do have my own method, and I have my own things that I'm still keep on doing, but it's kind of a welcome that I arrived um, to a bunch of people, and I see that yeah, it's really improving, and that's really good to see that things are changing and keep on moving forward, and that's great, really to see.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask something a little bit controversial, because sometimes we non-Brazilian guys, non-Brazilian dancers, get the feeling that when somebody from other dance background go into Zouk and they go fast into a fame,
Yeah.
They criticize him or her by not being a proper Zouk dancer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they say, okay, yeah, she or he is a good dancer, but he or she doesn't know how to dance proper Zouk. Did you feel that for you?
Well, I don't know if I what I felt it came from me or from the others, because I have a very high expectation with myself as well. And to be honest, when I entered the Zouk scene, I barely was able to follow Zouk. And I had another frustration in that sense that I had a quite serious neck injury before. So I said like, okay, I think I'm never gonna be able to dance Zouk properly because it's really about you have to release the neck, you have to do this movement, and I was even if I knew what to do, I was really afraid to let it go. So I kind of say that I understand that the Brazilians they absolutely would like to keep the history. They really would like to keep the dance how it is, and I fully understand. I respect that. I respect their point of view. I never had anything wrong from them, so I'm very grateful for that. So, but I do feel that it takes time, and you have to get into it. We have other things. We mix it together, and we respect each other, and I hope we still can make the community bigger and stronger. For me, sorry, I can go back also again to salsa. What happened to me that it was strange for me when I went to teach, for example, salsa first time in my life in Trinidad or South America. I was saying that, oh, come on, you can shake it pretty much better than myself. Why do I come here? And that was interesting to see that they said, yeah, but you have a strong technique and you can share your experience and give it back to us, and it's a beautiful exchange. So if we do respect each other, I think it can be okay. I see I can still learn a lot, and I do want to learn more. So and I appreciate what they do. So.
Okay. So actually, when I danced with you for the first time just a few weeks ago on the Zouk Fest in London, and in the dance floor, I felt that you are a better Zouker than you think you are.
Yeah, it can be. It's fine.
Yeah. So how did you start to work in your Zouk level? Maybe you came or you started from the shows and then tried to build a Zouk base, or did you have regular classes of Zouk basics with Pasty? Maybe how did you approach the learning of Zouk in your case?
Okay. Well, I have to tell you, I think my strength is the connection, the leading and following, because um, I was a ballroom dancer. I was a salsa dancer, and I really my creation, my dance style Consla, which is the mix of contemporary contact and salsa, is really based on you have to get what your partner wants to do with you. So if he wants to properly lead you, then go for it. And as soon as you have a space to add your own thing, then you do your thing. But immediately as the man would like to come back to leading and following you, you have to be able to do what exactly the person does. And I think if somebody's a good leader, that I can be a good follower. But maybe with a not so good leader, I look like I cannot dance that well. So, because that's a bad thing. That bad thing is a good thing. That I do put myself a lot to the proper following. So because I think that's the dancing about. So that's one thing about leading and following, and the other stuff is we were quite in a need that Pasty, I mean Josta and Pasty they split. Pasty still had some congresses, and I had to jump in quite fast. So actually we were very much focused on the choreographies. We had a really good connection. We've had that before already, but it was not so much based, of course, in Zouk. But after, of course, he started to teach me the Zouk basics, and I was practicing with him these things. But unfortunately, we are not living in the same country, and I'm very busy with other stuff as well, so I would love to dance much more Zouk, and I'm really searching for the opportunities to learn more and enjoy more. But I believe that learning a lot you can on the dance floor when you really practice it and you have good leaders and you can get it properly.
Okay, so talking about the dance floor, I had this feeling when I find a dancer like you. For example, I have the same feeling with Josta a few years ago, that sometimes on the dance floor, the leaders fall short in taking profit from all your skills. So sometimes I see some leaders trying to pull off some of your things during the social dance, like maybe some lifts and I myself I sometimes do that. How do you feel about the leaders trying to get into your thing, but maybe they don't do it properly? What will you advise to the leaders that find you on the dance floor to do?
I think what we are doing, it's more like opening creativity and doing stuff, and I'm not sure if it's really the good thing to do on the dance floor. You can do some stuff, obviously. I like put a little bit of it, but not really. You don't need to do lifts. You don't need to go on the floor. You don't have to go so far on the dance floor, and you have to think about it. What do we wear? So, for example, if I'm wearing heels and skirt and things like that, I'm not gonna do that kind of stuff, but probably in trainers and when you are training and you wanna open your spirit. So actually, the improvisation classes, what we are doing, is much more about to get a state of mind and feed your body to get into something. But it's not so much about that exact movement. You just have the feeling that, okay, I'm free, I can do whatever I want. But obviously, if I'm a dance floor and if it's a gala night, I'm not gonna like roll on the floor upside down. And so I think it's very important to get into the state of mind and then connect to each other and check the surrounding, that what kind of atmosphere is happening around you, and try to find the mixture of these, and then I think you can really find a new dance for that night, for that atmosphere and that moment, and not recreating something what you learned in the class.
Yeah, I actually, now that you were talking, I had a flashback from the first festival that we organized. Do you remember Nymph? When we were on Sunday dancing in Barcelona, just when the festival was finished, and we started to change partners during a song, and suddenly some of the followers started to fly from one guy to the other, and we were doing just this huge orgy of contact improvisation and lifts and everything. Do you remember that?
I remember, yeah.
was great. It was
at the end of the parties.
I had something similar in Poland, and I was DJing, and at a certain moment in the middle of the night, I was playing, and I thought, okay, I just stopped the music and I put like a lyrical song, and then like I don't know what, like 20, 30 people, they start doing contact improvisation all together on the floor. It was like that's the top, that's the hit of the night, you know. And then the party started. It was nice to see if people start like dancing together and just go with the flow.
Okay, not to say to say something that you don't want to say, Dotty, but just when you find the state of mind, sometimes it's nice to go to the floor, right?
Of course. I'm not saying it, but I don't think that people should come to me and take me to the floor immediately because I don't even know. I like to dance properly.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, what do you like from contact improv in Zouk? What do you like? What's the thing you want to put from contact improvisation into Zouk?
I think it's mainly that we don't have to lead constantly each other. Sometimes we have the moment when everybody can be free and connect to each other. So I can follow the man, the man can follow my moves, and yeah, if you are really going for it by yourself, you create new movements, and then you can connect in another way. For example, of course, you can do lifts, but it's like much more easier than like big preparation and strength and this kind of stuff. I really enjoy, to be honest, the flow. It's more, I could come back again, the state of mind that you don't have to focus so much at what's happening.
Yeah, I know, because I do also contact improv, but at a certain moment when you dance, you get in this certain mind setting, and then there's no one leading and following. Everything is happening in the same time. Like you can lead someone, but even during the leading you can follow someone and you can continue. And I like doing the flow, but what I mostly use is this circle or dancing in 8. Those kind of techniques that I use, and that's what I like from contact improv into Zouk. I do when you train, you can lift someone or go into the floor, but on the floor, but when you dance on like a regular party or social dancing, I use mostly the connection thing from contact improv and the flow. That's the thing that I like from contact improvisation.
Actually, you should know that because these things happening that, okay, I'm teaching Consular, which is quite similar to what we are teaching with the Pasty, but it's more focused on salsa, or kind of like mixing any kind of partner dance with contact and contemporary. And we just started to make a jam in Hungary, which is like a real party where you can constantly go on the floor up and down, and it's like candles and like very chilling feeling. Sometimes people just lying on the floor and talking for, I don't know, 10 minutes. Comes in and start to roll, and so it's quite a random party, and it's, I would say, absolutely underground. But I don't think, and I don't want to change the whole dancing for this, but I think it's really fun if you have a kind of corner like this, and then you can do whatever you want, and very interesting and very nice stuff could happen. And we keep on changing the music. So of course we're doing some salsa. We are doing absolutely like electronic music. We put Zouk and all kind of classical or whatever. So it's really fun to see that how far can go. Like
have you ever thought about mixing contact improv with tantric dance?
With what kind of?
Tantric dance.
With tantric?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. It's like some people doing the same in Holland. They started doing contact improvisation, but then mixed with tantric dance.
Okay.
I think we should bring tantric into Zouk.
Yeah, it could be mixed with everything.
Yeah.
I was about to reach to my shot of whiskey because I thought you were saying the word yoga.
Not yet.
You didn't. Because last episode, Dotty, I told Nim that every time he says yoga, we should all take a shot of whiskey because it would be much funnier the ZoukCast.
But I think I don't know, but maybe Dotty, do you do yoga?
Yeah, of course I do.
A lot of good dancers, professional, they do yoga for the stretching, for the techniques. So,
Wanna take a shot of water now?
yeah.
Yeah, well, I think I'm very open for a lot of things. So I did stretching from ballet and all kind of stretches, but obviously it's really nice to do some yoga as well. But I'm a Pilates trainer, so I teach Pilates in equipment as well, and of course there are some stretches in that one as well. But yoga is much more about stretches and this kind of stuff. So I practice all kind of stuff. So
Nice.
so do we have to drink now?
Okay, Dotty, so let's talk a little bit more about the artistic side, because the show that you currently do with Pasty, I love it. It's really an amazing show, and you have to understand me. I'm in love with Pasty. Like, like I love all the shows that he does. So how do you approach the creation side of the show? Do you choose first the song and then try to build the story? Do you think about the story and then try to find music that suits the story? How do you approach that creation of the show?
Well, I think every time is different, but definitely as soon as we have the right song, then it goes. So you don't have to think about it anymore because it comes by itself. So of course we work a lot with the improvisation. Like we like to improvise in any kind of music to create some new movements, but to really surprise ourselves as well. So not to get to all the time to the same things that we are kind of doing other shows or we are kind of comfortable with. So we try to put ourselves to that point when like, okay, we try to do something different for ourselves as well. And yeah, I think in this one we were a little bit struggling to find the right song because actually last time what we performed last year, it was the same singer, Anthony and the Johnsons, and we were a little bit afraid to use again the same because it's going to be too similar and blah, blah, blah. But we were so much in love with this music, so we couldn't say no. So then we made as soon as we made the decision that okay, this is it, then we just started to sit down listening like plenty of times. And we started to talk about images, that I feel this in this music, I feel that, and somehow we put together a story or feelings or pictures or colors, so anything what we felt with that music. And then we started, we always film some of our improvisations. We look back in the video, we say, okay, we like this move, we don't like, and we kind of try to relearn our improvisations and somehow put some blocks together and put together with the story. And then we just end up by doing a show.
So can you explain a little bit about the story behind this show?
I think it's it sings Crazy in Love, and I'm sure that everybody had already this feeling. It depends on are we living it now or before or but I'm sure everybody had this feeling that you are so much in love with somebody that it's kind of burning you that you just cannot live your life. And it's another thing that if you live that love with a person and because of some reason you cannot be together, that's more a love what you cannot live properly. And even if you are crazy for each other, that it cannot be a peaceful and harmony and a nice relationship. But I'm sure that this kind of feelings, it makes it more passionate, that what you cannot have, you want more. You want more, you want more, and you just make yourself crazy. So we were not really thinking about it, that who wants, I want him or he wants me or what's happening. It's just somehow it ended up that we were both crazy and we were not really thinking far that why and how. It's just like I have this feeling and he has this feeling, but it cannot happen. And at the end, finally, I leave, but it doesn't really matter. It's just like something that burns you. You enjoy it. You always want that, but it's not not sure that you really want to live that because you cannot stay alive.
Okay. So, Nymph,
Yeah.
when is your new show due? Because
Oh my God,
a while since I don't see a show from you.
I'm afraid of shows. I like to do social dancing and I don't know, show. It's I don't have the time for making shows, and I'm a bit afraid of being there on stage. So no shows for me.
Yeah, what you said is right that creating a show takes a lot of time,
Yeah.
and if you want to be a good performer, it's even more time because you have to improve and perfect every single movement from the show. So that's why we non-professionals struggle so much to create shows. So how long or how many hours do you think that go into one of your shows, Dotty, from the moment you start to work on it until the premiere? How
It's a
many
very
hours?
funny question because um, since we have quite a lot of limitation in space-wise that we are not living in the same country, and when we meet, no matter what, we have to do it. So it's a little bit tricky in that sense. That if we would live in the same place, I think it would take much more time because sometimes you just, okay, we try, we don't like it, okay, let's try another thing, da da da. But sometimes we just have to push it, and this pressure makes it happen. So yeah, to be honest, I think this one was happening in, like, say, 2.5 weeks around,
Mhm.
and yeah, I think that's all. But we were training from morning till night and like 8 hours every day. But yeah, it's like if I leave my country to go to Amsterdam, then I don't even have a coffee with anybody because we are like, okay, we are doing this. um, yeah, okay, we did some workshops and we got some classes. Of course, we were connected to dance, like sharing with people. But then I think I actually, to be honest, I prefer to work like this than meet weekly for a couple of hours, then you disconnect and connect again and disconnect. I prefer to put ourselves in a bubble and let's happen. Let's make it happen. And then as soon as it is ready, after, of course, you have to take some more time to practice. But I think that's the easier part of it than the creation itself.
Okay, so are you traveling a lot because of Zouk, or it's mainly because of all your other dance work that you travel abroad?
Um, I would say internationally, recently I'm traveling like quite balanced. But we are going like once a month with Zouk, so it's great. Before I was doing in Salsa like every weekend for 3-4 years, and I felt that it was a little bit too much for me. I really enjoyed, so nothing to regret about it. It's just I have other things in my life, like let's say the contemporary dancing and theater work, and imagine if you have to put like 2.5 weeks fully concentrated for a 5-minute show, then imagine how much we have to put for a 1 hour show. So, and I still have a lot of. So my dream is to do partner dances and kind of the consla, and also mixing Zouk and contemporary and all kind of any kind of partner dancing to put it on a stage and in the theater, because I think a lot of people who are not somehow not connected to Zouk or Salsa or any kind of partner dancing world, they're missing a lot. And if you go to a theater and you see this kind of connection, I think you really fell in love. You could fall in love with this kind of dances. And of course, there are a lot of shows like put together, but I don't think that the connections in these kind of shows are really that one what we live in the dance floor. So my main interest is to create this kind of really quality shows, and more artistic shows, not so much like musicals, to show the people this kind of beauty. And of course, this takes time. So that's my reason that I'm not because of not traveling every weekend. But I'm very happy that I still have this balance, that I'm able to go, enjoy a bit the international dancing on the Zouk scene, and still I can do my own stuff and travel with that one as well.
Oh, nice. So Nymph, we just reached the half an hour mark time for the episode. Do you have any extra question?
Do you have time for like private, personal life?
Sure.
Like if you put yourself like 2.5 weeks in a bubble, where's your private life?
Yeah, well, then sometimes the private life can wait a little bit.
Yeah.
I need a partner who is patient and can understand that dance life is a little bit twisted life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can be tricky, right?
Yeah.
Partner life with dance life, maybe sometimes collide.
Jealousy.
That's another episode for the next.
Okay, so Dotty, I think that it was a great episode, and it was really awesome to get to know you more. And I think that everybody that will watch the episode will enjoy as much as we and Nymph and me enjoyed listening to you. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, Nim.
I hope to meet you soon again and to dance a little bit more. And I promise not to go to the floor unless we are in the mindset.
Thank you very much for the invitation. I really enjoyed, and I wish all the best for you all. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome. So, Nymph, first of all, let's say about our URL. We can receive some donations from you guys. You want us to improve our equipment, or maybe being able to pay an account for the sound version of the podcast. You can give us a little bit of money every month, like €1 if you want. You go to patreon.com/ZoukCast, and you can do it there. Also, as you can see just here, we are organizing, or I am organizing with my Zouk Devils team, our third festival this summer from the 21st to 25th of July. And we hope to see most of you there. And actually, we have a surprise for everybody that we want to announce in the next days. And those two guys that are here with me, they know what the surprise is, but we won't say today. Okay? And that's all. We will have another ZoukCast next Wednesday, hopefully. We still don't know which guest. Do we know, Nymph?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's a surprise.
Yeah, so yeah, two surprises. Maybe on the next episode we can say the surprise that I mentioned today.
Okay.
And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, Nymph, as every week. Thank you again, Dotty.
Thank you.
And I hope everybody enjoyed the episode as much as I did. Bye.
Okay, bye.